What up? Sup? Morning coffee. Oh, by the way, whoever sent me the hat, I forget who it was. I'll keep it for Sue, but I thank you for the thought of sending it. I really do. I appreciate anything that anybody has sent me over the years. And I've got a lot, and I've never thrown any of them away. I've got a box full of letters and cards. I've got hats galore. I've got, I don't even know what. So I have them all, and I don't throw them away. I probably need to go through there eventually and kind of pick out some of the things that I want to keep, and some of them I need to donate or something, because I just can't keep everything all the time. But as of right now, I've kept everything. Some updated things going on in the villages. Monday, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. You notice, I started last night, and today, Star Wars stuff is everywhere. But we're in phase 1 starting today. All the state parks, or I should say maybe 99.9%. The governor said all. But each county has their own problems. So the mayors of those counties, I believe, have authority to override what the governor really says. It's always been that way here. That's why when everybody says, oh, they've ordered this. Well, they may have ordered it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Sumter County is going to do it, because we don't have to. Just like any other county doesn't really have to. It's not lockdown. We don't have lockdowns. The only people you can quarantine are sick people, not healthy people. It's not been declared a martial law. So, sometimes I think when people hear a word like quarantine, they get a little nuts with it. And we've always had golf courses open. And we've had a lot of things open here that's never been shut down. So anyway, getting off of all this coronavirus stuff, because I'm sick of hearing it too. Some of the things going on in the villages right now. It's been a rumor for a long time about P.F. Chang's restaurant coming to the villages. If you've ever been here, what's going on out there? I'm going to do a video. The neighborhood had a thing. I don't even know what you want to call this thing, where they were taking like driveway chalk. The stuff that kids use, it'll wash off, or when it rains it'll be gone, but so far it hasn't rained. And do, I guess, some kind of drawing on the driveways to help with the I keep wanting to say lockdown, it wasn't a lockdown, to help with the kind of stay at home, away from people kind of thing. That's more like it, staying away from people. Distancing, I guess they call it. And they went around. Anyway, there's all kinds of designs that people did on their driveways. I saw Sue doing it out the other day, and I took video of it. I never really thought anything about it, and she told me that several people in the neighborhood did it. It was something they wanted to do. And so I haven't been around and done a video of everybody else's driveway, but I did do this one out here. If I get a chance, I may go out and take a couple more pictures. And if that happens, then I'll cut a video and I'll show you what some of the things that bored people do. But back to P.F. Chang's. Down there in Brownwood, if you ever been there, on the one corner straight across the street from the Bluefin restaurant. Across the street from that is a big building there to be perfect for a large restaurant. Since Brownwood's been built, that building has been empty. There's never been anybody in there. And at one time there was a rumor going around that Panera Bread was going to go in there. And I kind of believed that rumor, because Panera Bread's in every square, except Brownwood. So when they said Panera Bread, I thought, that's maybe. Well, that didn't happen. So now, there'd been several rumors about that building. None of them came true. I don't think I ever reported that, because there's so many rumors that flow. Like I've said before, rumors around here fly like crazy. I never reported it because there have been so many rumors about that building that I didn't want to waste your time or mine, really. But this is in the daily news here. It looks like P.F. Chang's may be. I'm using my computer screen down here to read the news today instead of my cell phone. And here it says, a long-rumored P.F. Chang's China Bistro has filed an application for a restaurant in the Villages. The Asian-themed restaurant chain has filed an application for a location at 3676 Megason Road in Brownwood, Paddock Square, according to a document on file with the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation. The filing offers little information other than application in progress. The possibility of P.F. Chang's coming to Florida's friendliest hometown has fueled the rumor mill for several years in the Villages. Yeah. The document on file with the state is the first indication that villagers' desire for a popular restaurant chain's cuisine will be fulfilled. So without reading this whole thing, it talks about the owner and the price of their food and all these kinds of things. It looks like we're getting a P.F. Chang's. I like P.F. Chang's. I don't think I'll go there, every week or anything like that, but it's nice to know that we do have a nice sit-down restaurant of some type of quality. A lot of these restaurants here, they look nice when you walk in. The decorations look good, but it seems like, especially in the winter, there's always something lacking. Service, food, the quality of the food. I'm just not a fan of, I won't say a lot, I don't want to use that word, but I'm just not a fan of some restaurants here. And believe it or not, there are some restaurants that really aren't really popular with the public that are pretty good. And why they're not any more popular than what they are, I don't know. I don't know if it's because people perceive them to being something else. But anyway, finally, Wildwood, a Dairy Queen restaurant coming to Wildwood. I've been saying this for the longest time. I don't know if anybody at Dairy Queen watches my videos or not, but I've said for the longest time, why don't we have a Dairy Queen? People say, well, Villages doesn't allow them in. That's not true. Villages can't keep certain people out. Anybody can rent a building and put in a restaurant. Anybody can go to any of this property just right around the Villages here and buy a piece of property and build a building and put a restaurant in. Villages ain't the see all, do all, and approve all of everything around here. And why we didn't have a Dairy Queen, and when I say we didn't have a Dairy Queen, we didn't have a Dairy Queen probably within 25-mile radius of this place, maybe even further than that. I think I had to go to Ocala to find a Dairy Queen. If you're not a Dairy Queen fan, you probably don't care. But it's not a place that I go to and say a lot, but it's just nice to know that I can go get my chocolate dip ice cream cone, and that's what I really like. So we are getting a Dairy Queen. Villages restaurants eyeing measures to slowly reopen amid COVID-19 crisis. Yes, we're in phase 1. So part of phase 1 is redesigning things to start allowing people to come back in on a limited basis. They're going to redesign the inside of the restaurants. They're moving tables around. Something like 25% capacity or something like that. And they're moving chairs at the bar, so you're 6 feet apart. They're moving tables so that they're so many feet apart. Outside, they're moving tables. And I can see a problem because there are certain people that's just simply not going to listen. They're not going to pay attention. So these restaurant owners, beware. You're going to have to start supervising this stuff. And you're going to probably make some people angry when you do. But it's what you're going to have to do. Because around here in a retirement community, it is very common to go to a bar or go to a restaurant, and people goes out sometimes in large numbers. We all get together, we're going to run down to City Fire, let's say, and we're going to have lunch and a couple of drinks. So they go inside and they slide tables together. This is not uncommon here at any restaurant anywhere. That's not going to be allowed. I'm pretty sure they're going to stop that. You're not going to be allowed to slide tables together. You're not going to be able to have 15 people, around a table. And so the owners of restaurants are going to have to really watch that. What happens, I don't know, but you're going to have to keep an eye on that. 2J's Deli files for bankruptcy protection. This doesn't surprise me. These restaurants and a lot of other businesses have been shut down all this time, and they haven't had any income. People haven't been able to go into the place to do any kind of shopping. Rent keeps on clicking, and insurance has to be paid, and bills have to be paid, whether they're getting money or not. And so the idea of 2J's filing bankruptcy doesn't really surprise me at all. I'm surprised that 2J's is the only one right now, I guess, doing it. I would have thought that maybe a lot of them would have been filed bankruptcy by now, but they haven't. So that, I believe, is going to be the catch-up. I won't call it the news. So that'll be the catch-up of what's going on. Sue, finally, doctor's offices here are opening, I guess, on a limited basis. When we were in Rockport, she had an eye problem. I had to take her to the emergency clinic to get it flushed out. Something flew in her eye and it swelled up, and they flushed it out. The swelling went down. She had some antibiotics they gave her and so on and so forth. Everything would look good, except she said something happened in her eye when that happened, because she couldn't hardly see out of that eye anymore. And she said she thought she had a cataract that moved, and she just couldn't see. Well, I looked, I can't tell. But I will say this, if you looked at her pupil straight on, you could see like this white light in the very middle of her pupil. And it was strange, and I don't know what that was. So anyway, she got an eye appointment today at the doctor. And she's gone now to the eye doctor. And hopefully they can get that, straightened out, or at least make the appointments to get it straightened out. But the bottom of that story is things are starting to open up a little bit at a time. She got a doctor's appointment. I need a haircut. I'm going to call here in a little bit to see if I can get an appointment to get a haircut. And restaurants are starting to maybe let people in. And, as long as people behave and as long as people do what they're supposed to do, whether they agree with it or don't agree with it, really makes no difference. As long as they do what they're supposed to do and don't cause these restaurant owners and other people in there a problem, I think things are going to be fine. I don't think anything else is opened yet. I think this is phase 1. There will be a phase 2. I don't know exactly when phase 2 starts. I'll let you know when I find out. But I believe the swimming pools and things are still closed. Rec centers today, I believe I don't know if it's all rec centers or just the regional rec centers. The regional rec centers is where the lap pools are at. It's where you get your guest passes and things like that. So it might be just the regional rec centers has opened up on a limited basis. And I think they're going to monitor how many people come inside and how people are conducting themselves inside. And the lap pools, I think they're going to have somebody stationed there to keep an eye on it. They're not going to allow 100 people go jump in the pool. And so anyway, we'll see how all this turns out. And hopefully everybody will behave, and hopefully everything gets back to normal. I know everybody's ready to get back to normal. I'm ready to get back to normal as long as it's okay. I don't want to get back to normal too early. Listen, I don't work for a living. So I understand the people that have to work for a living that need to get out. I don't work for a living, so I don't really need to get out. I'd like to get out and do some things, and I can do that. I've been able to do it all this time and not be around a ton of people. Hopefully we'll get things back together and things will be okay. So with that being said, I'm just simply going to say, enjoy your morning. I'm going to get this video up and going. Hopefully I've pressed all the buttons. I've turned everything on, and I don't have to cut this video 2 and 3 times like I've been doing. So with that being said, I'll see all of you on the other side.